right, so this is going to be another movie review. This one's called Love Laughs at Andy Hardy. Thought it was pretty decent. It's a little slow paced, kind of dated, I guess. One of the girls thinks that the human race started thousands of years ago. I guess they're going by strict interpretation of creationism here. MGM's Love Laughs at Andy Hardy. It's new and terrific with Mickey Rooney. And he's not even looking at a picture of his dream girl. He's looking at some other lady in the movie poster. It doesn't even look like the dream girl. All right. I thought it was pretty decent. I like the Hispanic actress from South America who kept doing the crazy wiggling of the hips. We like the wiggling of the hips on this channel. and I thought it was kind of cute the way the short Mickey Rooney was going out with the female basketball player. That was kind of cool. It reminded me of Claudius, Emperor Claudius and his wife, and the difference in height must have been like 3 feet. Anyways, pretty cool stuff. The ending was okay. It was a little corny, but we'll let it go. I got some laughs out of this. It wasn't totally boring. You got to appreciate 1940s humor if you're into this kind of movie. Let me put it to you that way. Okay. Distributed by Lowe's Inc. Released production company MGM. Release date December 25th, 1946. Running time 93 minutes or 95 minutes on the 2005 DVD release. And country United States, language English. Budget of $1.1 million. Box office of $2,359,000. That must be in inflated dollars. No, I guess it's that's correct. We'll talk about the profit here. In a little bit. Love Laughs at Andy Hardy is a 1946 U.S. comedy film directed by Willis Goldbeck and starring Mickey Rooney, Louis Stone, and Bonita Granville. It was produced by MGM. The film is also known under its U.S. promotional title, Uncle Andy Hardy. This was the 15th and penultimate film in the Andy Hardy series. The final installment, Andy Hardy Comes Home, 1958, would be released 12 years later. The film was also noteworthy for being the last in the Andy Hardy series to feature veteran character actor Louis Stone as Judge Hardy. Stone continued his career for the next 7 years, appearing in 10 more films until his death in 1953 at age 73 prior to Andy Hardy Comes Home, the last in the series. The story starts in a small town of Carville, where the Honorable Judge Hardy, Louis Stone, and his wife Emily Faye Holden eagerly await their son's return from the military. Andy Mickey Rooney has received an honorable discharge from the Army after a service of 2 years. His parents are unaware of the fact that Andy is looking to get back with his college sweetheart, Kay Bonita Granville. One day soon After Andy's homecoming, his mother Emily observes him looking at store window displays of wedding rings and baby clothing, and Emily suspects that her son must be in love. Unrequited love. Which was my problem when I was a young somebody in his 20s, I guess. Emily's suspicions are soon confirmed when Andy, who usually had an eye for girls, barely notices the very attractive singer Isabel Gonzalez, played by Lena Romay. We like Lena Romay in this movie. She looks very, very Jane Russell type of body shape, I guess you could say. When they are reduced, I don't think Mary Elena Lena Romay was a U.S. actress and singer. I don't think she was the least bit Hispanic, but she could have pulled off being like Argentinian or something. All right. Isabel is a regular singer at the Carve Country Club. I want to go there every day to watch her sing. She is good. She is the reason to watch this film. And when Andy comes there and they are introduced to each other, she falls in love with him. Andy, however, isn't smitten by Isabel in the same way, still preoccupied with thinking about his college sweetheart, who ends up marrying somebody else. Andy wants to return to Wainwright College to finish his studies and to meet his sweetheart as soon as possible. Andy is very determined, though, to keep the romance a secret from his parents. When Andy is with his parents visiting the country club, he finds out there is a telegram sent by Kay that is supposed to be delivered to him at his parents' house. He panics, and in a desperate attempt to hide it from his parents, he makes up an excuse to leave the club to help out a friend. He convinces a friend to cover for him and spread a fake story about a broken water faucet. But in reality, he rushes home to the house and he intercepts the telegram before anyone else gets to see it. A series of unfortunate events take place from this moment on. Andy is about to take a shower at the house when he realizes that the water is switched off. He goes outside in his robe to switch it on when the front door shuts behind him and locks automatically. Andy is stranded outside in the garden and he has to wait in the shrubbery until his parents arrive home from the country club. Before he has a chance to get inside the house again, a passing police officer discovers him hiding in the bushes. The police officer doesn't believe Andy's story when he tries to explain his business in the garden, and the police officer insists on taking him inside to get a confirmation from his parents. Emily is upset with her son's erratic behavior, and she blames the fact that he is blinded by love. She forces her husband to talk with his son and straighten him out on the subject of choosing the right kind of woman. Andy confesses his plan to ask Kay to marry him when he comes back to college. His parents don't approve of this plan, and they decide to follow him to Wainwright to keep an eye on him and to keep him away from his sweetheart. Wow, that's pretty good parenting there. I think Andy Hardy should listen to his parents more. The president of the school council, Duke Johnson, Hal Hackett, offers Andy the honor of being chairman of the freshman dance as soon as he gets back to college. Andy accepts the offer, but Andy finds out soon after that Kay cannot attend the dance because of a family emergency. She is required to go home to her legal guardian, Dane Kittredge, played by Dick Simmons. also known as Richard Simmons. Duke understands that Andy is in need of a date at the dance, so he sets up with a girl named Coffee Smith, played by 6 feet 2 inches actress Dorothy Ford. She's the same height as I am. Too bad I didn't know Dorothy Ford back in 1948, but that was for my type. Who's a great deal taller than Andy, making him look ridiculous beside her. It looks like Caligula and his wife at their wedding. Not Caligula. Sorry, Claudius and his wife at their wedding. Andy is quite embarrassed by their appearance together, but Andy soon warms up to the bigger girl and they become good friends. Andy is shocked, however, when Kay comes back to Wainwright and she tells him that she has fallen in love with their guardian Dane, who's age 36, and that she is planning on marrying him the next day. Andy is heartbroken, but as a sign of good faith, he nevertheless agrees to be Kay's best man at the wedding. What a debilitating scene that was. Anyways, while Mickey Rooney was in the Army, MGM announced Booth Tarkington had developed a story for a Hardy movie without Andy, the Hardy family's country cousin. Andy would not appear, but would be referenced in conversations. The film was not made. This was Mickey Rooney's first film after he got out of the Army. It was originally entitled Uncle Andy Hardy. According to MGM Records, the film earned $1,656,000 in the US and Canada and $733,000 elsewhere, resulting in a profit to the studio of $529,000. This movie is in the public domain in the United States as of 1974 because Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer neglected to renew the copyright. There's a comic book adaptation of this film. It's called Fiction House Movie Comics #3 from June 1947. Wonder how much it's worth. Must be worth a lot of dough. Fiction House Movie Comics #3. This Fiction House Comics #3. Wow. What a cool looking comic book. Oh, man. How much is this comic worth? I want this comic. I do. I want it. It looks like it's up for auction. I can't get a price on this thing. I'm still searching. Oh, here we go. Looks like $583.44 is the value of Movie Comics Fiction House #3. That is a collector's item, if I ever saw one. What a beautiful comic cover that is with Annie Rooney and And Miss Coffee, what's her name? Coffee Smith? Dorothy Ford. What a what a great actress. I love Dorothy Ford, and I love Lena Romay. Two great actresses. Andy Rooney is just kind of a goofball in this one. He's always manages to find himself in a lot of 20-something situations here. Kind of reminded me of my own love life. Kind of hit or miss, as it were. Mostly miss. All right. So Love Laughs at Andy Hardy, 19, 1 hour and 33 minutes, perfect time. Gets a 5.9 out of 10, which is sort of good, I guess. I'm rating it a little bit higher. I'm rating it 8 out of 10. Only 789 ratings on IMDb. Obscure. Not too many people know about this flick. Andy Hardy goes to college after returning from World War II. He is in love with Kay Wilson this time. Big mistake, Andy Hardy. More like this. Andy Hardy's Blonde Trouble. Andy Hardy meets debutante out west with the Hardys. And Andy Hardy's Double Life. So some of these Andy Hardy movies are, all of these Andy Hardy movies have Mickey Rooney in them. So supposedly there are 12. I'm sorry, there are 16 Andy Hardy films starring Mickey Rooney. This is the 15th of 16 Andy Hardy films starring Mickey Rooney. I stand corrected. When Andy Hardy arrives home, he jumps off an army truck with his duffel bag. When he sees his parents moments later and they start walking, the duffel bag has vanished. Quotes Coffee Smith, "I'm an awful big girl, and anybody that likes me has got to like an awful big girl." She just happened to pick the little tiny Mickey Rooney. It's so silly. I love that scene when they're standing together on the dance floor. He's trying to spin her around, but he keeps getting caught. Connections. Edited into your afternoon movie Love Laughs at Andy Hardy, 2022. All right. Soundtracks, Rockabye Baby, 1886, uncredited. Music and lyrics by Effie I. Canning, played as background when Mickey Rooney sees a cradle. All right. Here's a less flattering review on IMDb by Plankton Rules, dated July 29th, 2014. It's a 5 out of 10. And the review title, the movie review title is reasonably well made, but Andy and the series are looking a bit old. Mickey Rooney made 12.5 Andy Hardy films, and this is among the very last. Because of this, it's certainly far from the original and lacks the energy of the earlier entries. It's also oddly depressing at times. Nothing wrong with that. This person is giving it a 5 out of 10. I give it an 8 out of 10. This installment finds Andy returning home from war, and it was sure swell. However, instead of dealing with PTSD or the looming threat of international communism, Andy is in a daze obsessed with his latest love, Kay Wilson, Bonita Granville. His plan is to go off to college using the GI Bill and marry Kay the co-ed. However, soon his plans fall apart as it turns out that Kay has other plans. Additionally, although he goes to school, oddly, you never see him attend any classes. By the end, the audience is feeling a bit uneasy about his pain, as well as a sense of deja vu, as Andy is always having girl trouble. Yeah, well, that's part of being young, I guess. Aside from a cute side story about Andy dating a gigantic lady, the film has little in the way of interesting content or originality. It's clearly a film for the die-hard Hardy groupies and is reasonably entertaining, but nothing more. And incidentally, it's in public domain and may be copied and viewed for free following the links on IMDb, though I wouldn't necessarily rush to do this. I watched it on Cult Cinema Classics, YouTube. It's public domain for all to see. Oh, Adrian's in the chat room. I'm here, better late than never. I got the movie Crawl comic and good condition, worth a fair bit. No shame and love life miss. Yeah. When you lose your first crush, that's when you want to jump in front of a train or do drugs. At least that's how it is in the 1990s. In 1949, in 1946, the way you handle grief of losing your first crush in 1946 by dating a girl who's 3 feet taller than you and then smashing a window. That's how you deal with the grief in 1948. In 1990, it would be committing suicide or doing drugs. Anyways, let's go down the list, shall we? First on the list is My Dear Killer, 1971. Second on the list is Collateral Damage, 2002. And third on the list is A Farewell to Arms, 1932. Then I get into the 1950s sci-fi stuff, the Day the Earth Stood Still, The War of the Worlds, Creature from the Black Lagoon. What else? Yeah. Yeah, those are the 3 big ones. And now that Adrian's in the chat room, I should mention that Home Alone 4, also known as Home Alone Taking Back the House from 2002, the lowest rated Home Alone movie in the series by far. That one, I thought it was on the top of my list, but then I just checked it recently. I couldn't find it anywhere. So I re-added it to the bottom of my list. I don't know how it got vaporized or disappeared. Maybe I accidentally hit the delete button, but it's back down at the bottom of my list at 3,518, which means that I'll get to it in 27 years if I don't die first. I guess Adrian got sick and tired of listening to me. Have a good night, Adrian. Laters.